Thanks to Angie's List, now it is. Start shopping online from a list of top-rated providers.
Visit angieslist.com today.
The Sports Authority holiday.
You remember the all the canoeing we did?
Yeah, I remember doing that.
And the one up to North Carolina in your old van, your old yellow van.
I've always been into biking, but
How we used to camp out at the on the trail and take photos, and then usually we'd go in October
I became obsessed with getting faster.
to where was it? We went to Suches and at Burningtown Gap and Nantahala. We stayed at the outdoor. I was thinking the other day too, in January. You remember that year in '86, or earlier even, when the shuttle blew up, and we went down there to see it launch, the Challenger. We went down to Titusville. You remember that?
Vaguely, but I remember.
We were camping out in the parking lot of the shopping center, and about 3 a.m. the police came and they made us move, and we went back to Lake City because they canceled the flight because it was too cold, and the next day it blew up and we missed it by 1 day.
Just look at that smooth merge. This Saturday and Sunday, Walmart will open more checkout lanes than ever before. More checkout lanes, more ways to Christmas joy. This guy's got some motorcycle stuff, Harley Davidsons. Oh, look at that one. I'm riding Harleys. They want to get rid of some stuff. They're looking forward to us coming. Anybody that says they're looking forward to me coming, I'm there. Hey, how you doing?
I remember how you would always be the last to get. I was always the fast one to get ready, and you would be slow, fastidious getting ready, and I would be out taking pictures while you're still setting up. I was always in a hurry, and you were always very deliberate and exacting. I always was appreciative of your taking your time, how you would set up, take your meter reading, make sure you were in good focus. I always appreciated that about your discipline with your photography.
I still got some of my photo. What do you call it? Put your camera on it.
Yeah, your tripod.
He has a need for speed. It's not loud, rough, and fast. He ain't into it. He gives us a new word in Fast and Furious. Hey, Michael, what about the stop sign up there? Costs a little bit more money.
Do you still have your old Nikons?
It's got glass marbles all the way throughout the whole thing.
I got a
different one because it's indented. You see a lot of the embossed ones with the marbles on them, but haven't seen one like that.
Runs. Yeah, big.
About 100. Okay, that'll work.
The Nikon F,
I may have that one too. It's in the closet. I haven't looked in that thing in I don't know how long.
What about you still have your artifacts, don't you, that you found scuba diving?
Yeah, in that case.
Yeah. And the story you still have the story about Guadalcanal that you wrote, your time during World War II. You still have your memoirs of that?
No.
I remember you were writing it at one time. You had a small a notebook. I think you had it in a notebook. Your you were gonna write a story about it. I thought you've already written it. It's just you might have lent it out to somebody to read.
I'm walking down a street in Kansas with a guy with a gun on his hip. Looks like a scene from Tombstone.
I got a bunch of my photo equipment in the
Oh my God.
closet there.
When you first walked in there, it was just like, oh my God, this guy's got some stuff. Oh yeah, Frankie's got a scout doing a hill climb. You know, Danielle made a great find here. We would have never stopped in a place like this on our own. He had a lot of stuff, a lot of killer things. Like, yeah, this is cool, man.
He stayed with you for a while. You remember
Yeah.
Almost there. He's got the fish hook in his mouth. I'm pulling it in.
when his house burned down and you had your old trailer?
That's the thing about picking. It's like, don't give up.
He sings in a choir now.
Oil
He's
up on his forehead. And
Really?
yeah. You believe that?
oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
He hadn't got any front teeth.
I just gave you 150.
His both front teeth are missing. Guess he couldn't whistle. And he still does yard work on the side.
He's more ambitious than I am.
You still mow your grass?
Oh.
Tommy does it. Is Tommy's still around, isn't he?
Yeah. Tommy still lives in that house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of Glenda's husband's name, the guy that had the car dealership.
Office Kawasaki here.
Oh,
I like the bike. It's a 650 motor. It's on a custom frame. It was
Not
made
Jake.
to
He
be
passed away. Jake did.
That's what I like. I don't want
Both
something
of them.
everybody else has got.
Elsie
Nobody
and
else has got one of those.
Jake.
That's not for sale.
What was his name?
Why would that be? It belongs to a friend of mine.
Man, he had the car dealership. You remember the used cars?
Seems like the one thing I pick out. It's not
Well, I don't know that. I know Jake was
They don't
in
know
car
anything
deal.
about it. Somebody
car
left it 20
deal.
years ago. They have to keep it. They
Yeah,
might
this
keep
guy,
it.
Glenda's husband, took over the
It seems like it's phone a friend for me.
the
Now it becomes
dealership
complicated.
on 90.
Hey, you got a
And he's the one that has your old
you got that for sale?
Mohawk, the Dugong, the first Mohawk you got,
Where can I
canoe,
be to make
the green
you
one.
comfortable and make Frank
It's still at his house.
Would $2,500 buy it?
Yeah, I forget all the
You
details.
did the right thing. Hey, Mike,
You know, I've got your. Do you remember your little green kayak?
you bought this. You did.
The little, you called it Dugong. It was about as long as this couch.
It's all been hand painted.
Little green. You put a keel on the bottom out of
Being one of the most
machined metal keel. You made it and stuck on the bottom. I've got that kayak now. And the sea kayak, the big long yellow sea kayak. Do you remember that one?
I know, and the thing was weird about it was
Yeah, I got that one too.
what I love. And he had
You probably don't even remember giving them to me, do you?
a Beyonce video, dude.
No, I remember having it.
You remember taking them out to Cedar Key?
The Victrola record puzzles, I
Oh.
think I can get between $200 and $350 for it.
Your kayaks. You took your sea kayak out to Cedar Key and paddled around the flats and the
This was a fantastic thing.
at Cedar Key.
Great guy. He had all the kind of stuff that we like. It
You
was
went out to
amazing.
Sena Odie Island.
Yeah, I remember going out there.
Yeah.
I like about those guys, but I'm not sure what it is.
Well, you remember going up on the Swanee, don't you?
Thank you.
Yeah.
And the Okefenokee. You remember us going up to the Okefenokee?
Me and Frankie both walked out of
Yeah, I went up there with you.
talk about until we're 90.
The canoe.
Yeah. Yeah, we went in the canoes.
They had everything.
You remember the guy that came up beside us in the motorboat? And we'd been seeing alligators right and left. And he came up to us in the motorboat real fast and he said, "Have you seen any gators?" And he was mad because he hadn't been seeing any alligators because he was scaring them all away, you know, with his. And you and I You remember that time we were going down that called River Narrows? And there were like hundreds of gators in front of us and behind us and beside us.
I think we were being escorted.
Yeah. And that guy had the nerve to think that there's no gators in Okefenokee because he was making all that noise in that motorboat. They were going underwater.
Before Larry instantly transferred money from his bank.
I remember that time we were paddling up to Billy's Island and a head of something just popped up out of the water. I guess an alligator. It was either a raccoon head or something. He just came up to the surface. It was the weirdest thing, and it was like a gator or something was holding it underwater, and when we came by, it let loose of it, and it popped up to the surface. It scared us to death. It like was a haunted, like something like from Deliverance coming out of the water.
Classic holiday meals at prices that'll keep you in the spirit. And for dessert, our Belgian chocolate mousse crepe for great value.
We needed to have a secretary taking all this down.
I know it.
There is no
You should have
this accident.
kept a diary. That's what my mama does.
Because there was no accident.
She keeps all her
Volvo's most
memories in
advanced accident avoidance systems
a book. I could go back
from the company
to 1965 and tell you what I did or what she did because she wrote it down faithfully for like since I've been a little boy. She's written everything down about her life.
Well, maybe you can write a book.
I could do it because I've got a lot of source material, to go back to. And I have all her diaries, that she kept over the years. She still keeps a diary. I think she's 86, I think. She's maybe a year younger than you. You and her ought to hook up. You're too stuck in your ways, I guess.
Watching hit movies like Divergent here. And the biggest hit shows
I can't
here
remember anything anymore.
or even here. Anywhere you want. Anytime you want. This is awesome. This is HBO on Xfinity. Get
What's
favorite
your-
series and movies with HBO.
What would be your best memory, right? If you thought of a good memory right now, what would a good memory be for
Upgrade
you?
now for $14.99 more a month for 12 months.
A
Call
good
1-800
memory?
Xfinity or go online today. Who cares why the chicken crossed the road? Well, that's the pig cry.
Something you
'Cause he's fixing to
you
get
draw
his
upon
barbecue.
often about, you think about often, what would that be?
December 12th and 13th in Perry. Over 50 cook teams, $10,000 in prize money. Kids fun zone,
look.
arts and crafts,
How
food
often?
vendors, and some
What?
of the best
A memory, a good memory you have.
And it's all free. Car show, free barbecue tastings. Southern
Yeah, I wish I
Barbecue
could
Barbecue
remember.
Festival.
I can't remember a few things. You go way back when I was just a kid.
Yeah. Growing up at Welborn?
Yeah, I was going to Welborn School.
And you lived on that farm across from, it was off 90, wasn't it, as you go into Welborn?
Yeah, it was a Jeep. It didn't go off shallow, like most of them do. It just went down.
We're taking the 1937 Harley Knucklehead.
Had a drop off?
This guy's
Yeah.
an expert in knuckleheads and panheads. He knows his stuff. He knows
You have any memories of
everything on these things.
going to school at Lake Lona?
About getting this bike right. Hey man, what's up? Hey Mike. What do you
Yeah.
think? Is it what you thought?
I'm not sure if I went,
Like the chrome,
if I think about that or not.
Or Welborn? Was it Welborn or Lake Lona you went to school?
Surprised now that you can actually see it. I've been jonesing to know what's real on this
I
thing,
went to
what's
both
not.
places.
Toolboxes repop, the air breathers repop, so it's kind of sinking
Remember
a little bit low there for a while.
Pauline,
Tail light real, give me some good.
Gloria,
How about that? All right.
Sonny, all cousins were on.
Cousins? Classmates or cousins?
Yeah.
Person on the street, the average motorcycle enthusiast, isn't going to know the difference because it is an early knucklehead frame.
Yeah. Can you kind of give me an idea of the value of it?
Would you take $25,000 cash today?